Disappointing result. Certainly did a lot of very positive things throughout the game. The fourth quarter was tough. We had some missed opportunities, and Leonard just hit some really spectacular shots, and so we're headed for Game 7, and it's going to be a great opportunity for our team. I don't know if any of the guys in our locker room, other than maybe JRICH, have been in a Game 7. We'll be excited, and we'll be ready. He's been a big factor defensively throughout the series. He's going to make it tougher on any individual player that he's on. He's going to make it tougher in any 2- or 3-man situation that he's involved with. And, the fact that he had the energy, offensively to hit those shots down the stretch, the majority of which were very difficult, is something to behold. We're going to have to do a better job. We're going to have to look at, our scheming of him. We've done everything in this series. We'll have to be ready with the kitchen sink in Game 7. Our automatic timeout was going to be coming within a few seconds. We had a couple guys that had been in that were getting very winded. The mandatories are 3.5 minutes. I thought it was a good time for us to regather. We had guys playing big minutes. The irony is, we came out of that timeout with a bad possession, and the Clippers called a timeout, in their front court, and they turned it over. And so it certainly, wasn't perfect. But you asked what the thinking was. That timeout was going to come likely on the next whistle anyway. And I felt it was a good chance for us to catch our breath there. Yeah, in most cases, both teams have seen pretty much everything, but I'm not sure that that's going to be the case here. We've seen a little something different in each and every game, and we'll just have to wait and see. I just know that we'll be excited for this opportunity, one of the things about the way today's game is played, it's turned every guy on the court into a playmaker. These guys have all seen virtually every junk defense. They've seen every kind of matchup thing to try to manipulate into a difficult situation. And NBA players have evolved and done a good job of reading situations. So there are certainly different things that can happen, with lineups and rotations and, even strategic things. But we'll find out on Sunday. We've got to, limit Kawhi Leonard's touches as best we can. I mean, that's one thing that's very obvious. And I've only looked at the fourth quarter so far. I'll look at the rest of the game, after this, and we'll have some decisions to make. We'll talk about those things and keep moving forward. I think we were like 5 out of 6 straight possessions where we got a pretty good look at an open three. And we just were unlucky. And Tim had one drive where he was right at the rim and the ball bounced out. And so it's hard to get shots against these guys. They've got great defenders. They're mucking it up with switching and length. And look, you can always do better. I think it's always going to come down to, the better you can defend, the better your shots are going to be. And so we got to look at both sides of the ball. Obviously, we'd love to get, layups every time down, but, you get to this stage of a series, it's just unlikely that that's going to happen. I didn't think we were tight. I like the way we stepped into shots. I like the way we, our sort of, spirit, of our effort and trying to help each other. You know, there are just some correctable things that happen throughout the game that are correctable and controllable that we need to do a better job of. And this turns into a game of inches. I mean, the little things in the first, second, and third quarter, they pile up, and as you get into the fourth quarter, and so we'll look at all that kind of all those kinds of things. But this is part of the growth process. Our team's been through a lot this year, and our guys are they're together. They're locked in together, and they're really fighting. And it's been great to be a part of this experience. And the last chapter of this series is on Sunday, and so we'll look forward to that. This comes down to what's best, for our team. And I've had a lot of conversations with KP during this series. Going into Game 4, we had one strategy that was, completely different than what we had going into Game 5. He's been great accepting, what our strategy was as a team, locking into it, and being professional about it. What this always comes down to is, in the case of your question, is the term, your term, the quote unquote, getting him going. Does that manifest in the best things for the team with their lineup, the fact that they're putting a difficult defender on him and those kinds of things. And so, we'll look at it headed into Game 7. But I'll tell you this, I love the way he's playing. I would love to get him more open shots. And we'll look to do that in Game 7 for sure.
Okay, you're rocking with the queen, Miss Valencia King, bringing authentic interviews live from the scene. Real talk sports in the house. Valencia King holding it down. You're rocking with the queen, Miss Valencia King, bringing authentic interviews live from the scene. Real talk sports in the house. Valencia King holding it down.